Do you want one from Sparky, Jim, all the way from South East London?
Yes, I do.
All right, then. It's a near-death experience. Howdy from the UK. This is a long one, but it's a good one, lads and lady. I absolutely love the show. I enjoy nothing more than a few cans of Stella in my kitchen, catching up on the pods after a day of trying my hardest not to electrocute myself. Keep it up, as it makes a lot of us feel like part of the gang, and it really helps. Episode 425 with the church nutters prompted me to send this in. See, I love how people know the number. I've got fucking no idea.
The church nutters.
Here goes. My name is Jim, because that's my fucking name. And I'm a Sparky from Southeast London. I own a small electrical installation company, which I started up 20 plus years ago. And during the early days when I was learning the ropes of business and employing people, I was way, way, way too trusting. I had a couple of blokes who were really good Sparkies and always completed the jobs given to them on time and earned me a bit of a wonga. But I'm guessing money. Unfortunately, after 9 months of these two idiots driving around London in my van, they started taking the piss and doing private work with all my materials. Ooh. Motherfuckers. Eventually, I found out about the shenanigans and promptly fucked them off to the unemployment dole office. UB40.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Ah.
During the ensuing time of being short on staff, I would be out on the tools 12 hours a day, 6 days a week to keep the company going. And on this particular day at work, I had a call from a very angry man who informed me that my company had done some work for them a few weeks prior and that it had stopped working and I needed to attend to rectify the fault immediately. He gave me the address, which I hadn't been to before, and obviously it was the two fuckwit assholes who I'd sacked had gone and done the work. He told me he had paid cash and had no receipt, but it was definitely my company. Fuck me. Those two pricks had pulled my pants down again. I had to go and have a look at the complaint, as this was in the early days of Google reviews, and a bad review would sink my website rating, and I worked so hard to establish a good one. Off I trot to an industrial warehouse right next to the Millwall football stadium in South London. I get out of my van, knock on a big steel door, and the sign above, Evangelical House of the Chosen, or fucking something similar. A guy opened the door and I stepped into a makeshift church hall with about 50 people sleeping on random mattresses, and it smelt like a fucking festival portaloo had fallen over and spilled its entire contents everywhere. Fuck my old boots, it stunk. My t-shirt pulled over my nose to conceal the poo stink. I followed the dude who opened the door and I was sidestepping people asleep on the floor. I got led into an office, in inverted commas, where the reverend, in inverted commas, or whatever the fuck he was, explains to me that he's rather upset about the job we'd done going tits up, and promptly takes me to a room where he also explains that he paid my company 500 quid to hook up a power supply for his studio to broadcast his sermons to the unworthy all over London. In other words, it was a pirate radio station with a transmitter on the roof. He insisted that I fix the problem on the roof of the building and started poking me so hard in my chest that his fucking finger nearly entered my lungs. At this stage, I shit my pants as I was in a warehouse surrounded by 50 of his disciples, and this is where I have to give you some details. Number one, this guy was a fucking unit. 6'4" and bare feet. He had no neck. He was a big bloke and he was fucking angry. Number two, it was December and about 2 degrees outside. It was fucking freezing. At this stage, I wanted to get the fuck out of there, and the only way to go was to fix this fuck up. So I asked to go and have a look on the roof at the equipment that wasn't working. There was no internal roof access, and the only way onto the roof was via ladders from the outside. He agreed, and back down to the van I went. I got a set of triple section ladders off my work van and made the ascent up to the roof, hoping it was just a simple fix and be on my way. I was halfway up the ladders and I felt something. I looked down and fucking Mr. 6'4" was coming up behind me on the ladders. Fucking great. I got onto the roof, helped the massive unit of a man who decided to follow me up onto the flat roof of his building.
What's the big unit going on the roof for, eh?
Fuck that. A quick look around and there was absolutely fuck all I could do to fix it, as it was just a big fucking pirate radio aerial and a few satellite dishes, which I knew absolutely fuck all about. I tried to explain this to him, but he wasn't having any of it and proceeded to poke my lungs into my spine again, yelling at me, "You fix! You fix!" I pacified him and told him that I was going to go down to the van, get some tools, and I would rectify this fault. I got onto the ladders. Fucking A. Got onto the ladders, made my way down, lowering each section of the ladder as I went. I got back on old terra firma, picked up the ladders and started to secure them onto my van at record speed. He leant over the roof. "What are you doing?" Which I replied, "I'm going home." He yelled, "What about me?" Which I shouted back, "Looks like you're fucked."
Yes! Yes! That's amazing. What a fucking mic drop.
I got in my van and made a hasty retreat back home. After about 2 hours, I got a phone call. "Hello, is this London Electrical?" To which I replied, "Yes." "And who is this?" "Well, this is Watch Sergeant from the London Bridge Fire Brigade Station." And this was the moment I shit my pants for the second time that day. It was so cold, I thought the fucking Man Mountain had frozen to death on his own roof. He then asked me if I had left a man on the roof that they had just rescued, to which I replied yes, but told him the full story of him rearranging my rib cage and it being nothing to do with me. And while on loudspeaker in the fire engine, he told me that he will dine out on the story for years to come. The whole crew in the fire truck pissed themselves laughing and all yelled, "You fucking legend. Much love from Southeast London. All the best, Jim." Well done, Jimmo.
Looks like you're fucked.
What about me? You're fucked. Good job. Fuck, man.
London's big enough where you could do that shit and probably not catch up with him again. Like, because otherwise, like, he'll remember forever the big unit of guy. You'll be sitting in the lights one day and some guy will just walk past and rip your window wipers off.